Hello everyone, I am Sneha Panna. I'm a master's student of sociology in JNU, and in this video today I will discuss with you the various forms of social stigma that we see around us in the COVID-19 crisis and how can we do our bit in addressing and preventing these social stigma. To begin with, let us understand what social stigma means. Social stigma refers to any form of social discrimination against an individual or a group of individuals on the basis of their physical trait or social markers, which can range from their caste, class, religion, gender, race, ethnicity, region, health condition, or even intelligence. Now, one of the most negative impact of social stigma is that it cripples the ability of an individual to avail a dignified living under Article 21 of our Indian Constitution. And we must also note here that although much has changed with the onset of the coronavirus, with the lockdowns being in place, with different restrictions to our day-to-day life, pushing most of us to contemplate about the fundamentals, the values, the different activities that we would or we may have taken for granted in our lives generally. Now we see the importance of each one of them. While these changes are in place due to the coronavirus pandemic in our lives, sadly, there have remained certain unchanged social biases which have only heightened under the coronavirus crisis that we face today. And this sense of heightened discrimination, which was already prevalent in our society, can be seen all the more today. There have been in the past multiple examples of how our frontline workers, like the doctors, nurses, hospital staff, our essential service providers, our airline crew members, and even our sanitation workers who already come from very marginalized, vulnerable sections of the society face heightened sense of exclusion, of social exclusion and discrimination in our society today. We have also experienced a deepening of the bias, the religious bias against particular communities, especially the Muslim community in our society today. If I may just refer to certain facts. So, Media Scanner, a digital fact check website, listed more than 90 fake videos that were released to frame the Muslim community as being the perpetrator of this pandemic. We have also seen an increasing bias against the people having mongoloid features in our society today. So this ethnic stigmatization against our fellow Northeastern citizens and also our fellow Asians who are today working in the West have heightened. They have borne the brunt of this geography of blame game the most today. Again, a classic case of distress is seen in the exodus of the migrant workers today from different parts of the city to their home states, like in Jharkhand, when they're traveling back to their home states to Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Bihar. Now, the fact is that these biases have existed in our society. Our society has been structurally unequal. Our society has also been embedded in a gender unequal framework. What this COVID-19 crisis has done is to deepen our biases, is to deepen the fractures which exist in our society, which have been existing in our society. In these times, therefore, even the WHO, in one of its press briefings on 6th of April 2020, highlighted very clearly that any COVID-19 patient shall not be discriminated on the basis of racial, religious, or ethnic grounds, because any kind of discrimination based on these social factors will only be a detriment in our fight against this COVID-19 crisis. Now, I will also like to I would also like to highlight the fact that how this social stigmatization has a direct negative impact in the psychological well-being of our larger society. With social stigmatization being heightened at every level in our society, it feeds into the vicious cycle of fear, anxiety, othering, and uncertainty that we face today. Therefore, it is very important for all of us to do our bit to understand our bits in which we can address the social stigma existing in our society, the social stigma which has further been perpetuated, reproduced by this COVID-19 crisis. The first step towards building or addressing this social stigma is that we need to be vigilant in our ways of processing information that we receive. Now, there is a very important need to verify our information with fact checks from very credible sources and platforms. In this age of instancy, in this age wherein it's very convenient to share anything with a click of a mouse or the press of a button, we often fail to understand the responsibility which we have with us while we become the circulators of messages or while we become the messenger of different messages. Secondly, we need to learn to communicate effectively. Our words really matter. Our phrases really matter. The manner in which we talk about this COVID-19 crisis with each other and in our social circle really matters. And that is the reason why different social organizations, different international organizations and government agencies have come out with guidelines. For instance, the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies have issued guidelines on the do's and don'ts that we as individuals need to keep in mind while talking about the ongoing COVID-19 crisis. Even the Ministry of Health and Welfare, Government of India, has issued a guideline listing again the do's and don'ts and different steps that we as an individual and as a society need to undertake to address the social stigma associated with COVID-19 today. The reason why we need to realize our part at this time is because COVID-19 has the potential to infect any one of us. It does not recognize the ghettoized mindset that we work with. Although the virus is quite potent to infect any one of us, the main brunt of it or the worst situation is being faced by already vulnerable sections in our society. The ones who have been facing a lot of social injustices, socio-economic inaccessibility since ages together have been put at a very, very weakened spot today. And therefore, the last step, which is very important for us to highlight in our fight against this COVID-19 pandemic, is that we need to build towards a trust society, a trust-based society wherein we leave no one. Now, how can we do this? We can do this by warmly welcoming the ones who have recovered from the COVID-19 disease, highlight these stories of recovery, the unsung victors, the unsung success stories that we see all around us. We need to talk about them. We need to highlight the efforts, the challenges that they went through and successfully overcame to help us push forward positively in our response to the COVID-19 crisis. We need to understand that today is the time, yes, for all of us to take the preventive measures of washing our hands regularly, wearing a mask, and observing physical distancing. However, physical distancing during these times will be effective only if we realize that social solidarity is at the heart of it. By social solidarity, I mean the social cooperativeness that we need at this time, the empathy that we need to have towards each other, the sensitivity that we need to have towards each one of us is the need of the hour. And this is further highlighted by the equity principle underlined by United Nations framework in its immediate socio-economic response to the COVID-19 crisis, which says that the baseline for our new world in a post-COVID-19 situation should be based on a green, gender equal, and good governance system. We need to consistently fact check ourselves. We need to consistently verify information. We need to consistently become responsible communicators and also keep in mind that we can win this fight only by coming together. We may be apart, but we are not alone. And this is the responsibility that we need to keep in mind today. Even the sustainable development goals, which are due to be achieved in the next decade from now, will depend on where we as a society stand in our response to this very challenging time of a pandemic that we face today. Thank you so much for listening to me till the end of the video. I would urge you that if this video was helpful, please do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. In the comment section, do comment and let us know the different other social issues that you would like us to talk about and take up in our future videos. Thank you so much.